Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us today on MoneyBall, Mr. Taiwan Jones. I am Donovan. This is, of course, Jason Ball, and we did a little reverse there. Usually, we'll say who we are before we introduce the guest. But did you see what I did there?
Yeah, you put him ahead of us.
I put him ahead of us. That's
Yeah.
how I feel about this
Yes.
guy right here. Right?
Yes.
I put him ahead of.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
How you doing, man? What's happening?
Not much, man. Just out here in California, just trying to stay in shape and just enjoying the time with the family.
So you're from LA? You're from Cali? Where exactly are you from?
So I'm originally from San Francisco, California.
Okay. North, all right.
I moved around the Bay Area pretty often growing up, from San Francisco to Oakland, from Oakland to Antioch, where I went to high school. Then I went to college, the Eastern Washington, and then the Oakland Raiders brought me to the Bay, and then I went to Buffalo, then Houston, and back to Buffalo.
That's pretty cool how you ended up, though. I mean, so you're originally from right in the Oakland San Fran area, and you ended up playing for Oakland. So at the time when you got drafted, I think 4th round, right?
Yes, sir.
Was it that's a homecoming of sorts, right? Like that's like every kid's dream. Were you an Oakland fan as a kid?
So I'm gonna tell you a quick story. So I actually grew up a Niners fan.
Right.
Like I said, I'm from San Francisco. I remember, when I was young, seeing a lot of the parades and the team driving down the neighborhoods and stuff like that. So that made me a Niner fan. But on draft day, I was actually real upset that I didn't get drafted in the 3rd round. And as you know, the 4th round is the next day. So I woke up the next day pissed off. Like, I didn't want to watch the draft. I didn't want no part of it.
Really?
And yeah, I was pissed. Like, I was so over it. And because I had all my family over the day before, and so to not get drafted, it just kind of sucked.
Dude, we've heard that 2-3 times so far about the family over. Yep.
Yeah. And so I remember I slept in, and I kept getting a missed call from a 510 number. And that, as you know, like I said, I'm from the Bay Area, so that's a local number for me. So I'm thinking it's like family or friends. They want to ask me, have I been drafted? Or so I just wanted to ignore everybody. But this number called me like multiple times, and it was like back to back to back. So like something in me told me like I should answer this call. And I'm glad I did, because it was indeed the Oakland Raiders. And I went from being a bitter little kid to just the most excited person ever. And, it definitely made my day. And
what a trip, man. What a trip. How would you know? That would be like, I'm getting drafted in a 716 number, right? And the Bills, I'm thinking one of my, how would you know? Right.
So, and then the story continues. So
yeah, let's hear it.
I remember the Raiders, it was them on the phone, obviously, and they asked me, they was like, usually we have our first 3 rounds come down to the facility, but since you're a local guy, you think you can make it down to the press conference. And he was like, yeah, it's just in like an hour. And I was about like an hour 30, hour 40 away, still in bed. And I'm like, yeah, I can make it. So I'm like, I get dressed, and I'm just flooring it from Antioch, California to Oakland, California. And I ended up getting a speeding ticket coming out of the tunnel. And a police officer, he pulls me over, and he's just like, kid, like, what is your problem? Like,
this is great.
I could take you to jail for how fast you're going.
Yeah.
And I'm like kind of flustered. And I'm like, officer, I'm so sorry. Like, my head is all over the place. Like, I just got drafted. And he was like, oh, yeah? What branch? And then I was like, what? He thought I was talking about, like, Marine or
the
Army.
Military. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I'm like, no, like, I just got drafted to the Oakland Raiders, like, the football team. And he's like, no way. Are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, I'm dead serious. He's like, all right, I'll be right back. So he leaves, and he come back, and he was like, all right, I'm going to let you go, but I need your autograph. So he ended up giving me a ticket. That's where he wanted my autograph at. But he explained to me, he was like, dude, you were going so fast, like, I could take you to jail, but I understand the situation, and I'm gonna let you go. And I I ended up making it to the press conference, and then the Raiders found out that I had got that ticket, and they thought it was only fitting that a guy that got drafted for his speed got a speeding ticket on his draft day on the way to the conference.
That is money, man. That is an absolutely phenomenal story. So hold on. The dude actually did give you a ticket, though?
Oh yeah, I definitely got a ticket. Yeah, but
I mean, how do you pull somebody over and the dude's like, I'm late for a press conference because I got drafted, and you're like, oh, here, how does he still give you a ticket, bro?
You gotta let him go.
I can only say he was doing his job, but I tell you what, that was the easiest ticket I ever accepted in my life.
We also don't know exactly how fast you.
Right.
So, yeah, so maybe he was being super.
What were you driving then? Do you remember?
Oh yeah, I was driving a Honda. I know because I drove this Honda for like my first 3-4 years, and my dad, he put a big Raider sticker on the back, and so all the guys used to roast me. They used to be like, yo, who's letting these fucking fans park in our parking lot? Whole time it was always me driving that Honda.
Is that you, man? Are you a humble dude? Are you somebody who, I always like the Kawhi Leonard stories about how he's still rocking, like his 07 Pathfinder or whatever. Are you a humble dude?
Yeah, I think I'm a pretty humble dude. I never been too materialistic. Up until like my later years, I started getting a little more into fashion. But
yeah,
I like to consider myself still a humble dude.
Yeah, you seem like it, man, for sure.
Now, growing up a 49ers fan, who was like your main guy you loved watching? Like, were you a Ricky Waters fan? Like, who was your guy?
So I'm gonna be honest, like, I was more a fan of like other players, like just like Bo Jackson.
Hell yeah.
Barry Sanders was one of my favorite.
Me too.
Jim Brown, obviously like Jerry Rice, and I'm drawing blanks here right now. But so I never was like a diehard Niner fan. I was pretty much a fan by default because that's where I'm from. But like I said, I was more fans of certain players like Deion Sanders, Barry Sanders, and
Barry and Bo are a couple of good ones.
Bo and Deion, man. Hey, do you remember? And I don't know, you might know him personally, Garrison Hurst.
I do remember Garrison Hurst.
So Garrison Hurst, like, I couldn't stand the 49ers when I was a kid, but I was a huge Georgia Bulldogs. Like, I had just become a Georgia Bulldogs fan. And the reason, basically, I was a Georgia Bulldogs fan is Garrison Hurst.
Yeah.
And then I followed his pro career, and he got, I think, his first year ACL or something. And then he was comeback player of the year twice.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, that dude was pretty legendary, man. And no one knows his name now, Garrison Hurst, you know?
I love him. I love him, yeah.
Real good dude. I met him a few times.
Yeah? Yeah. All right, listen, we want him on MoneyBall. I need you to hook that up for us.
Yeah.
So listen, man, you've had a really good career. Let's just get down to brass tacks. You've had a really good career. I was shocked to see a 4.27 back in was that combine or wherever that was?
That was actually my pro day, my workout, which was pretty much like my combine, yeah.
And then I know you're known because I've seen a few of these crazy ass videos that you do.
Yeah.
Right. So we're gonna edit this, man, and people are gonna see them, right? Did you ever see?
No.
Oh, this guy, he's jumping over. So I got to get him on board in a minute.
Okay.
But as far as career wise, man, I wouldn't say underrated at all because your name comes up often for special teams. You're in that elite level, man. Obviously, that's something kind of close to home for Buffalo fans. Steve Tasker is like legendary for us.
Right.
And, he's got a real good story. Northwestern, I want to say, was his school. And he was 170 pounds, kind of, it's a different story, but he's got a real good story. And then he became arguably one of the best special teams players ever. Right.
Yeah.
How do you feel? And listen, I ain't even saying your career is over, man. We didn't even get to that, right? Because you're a free agent right now.
Right now, I'm still going, man.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm feeling healthy. I'm feeling good. I'm still fast. So
let's go two-part then. Sorry to interrupt you, but so far the career's been amazing, and we'll dive into that a little more. But where do you stand right now? So I mean, free agent. Any local suitors? Any suitors? Like, have you been fielding calls? Tell us what's going on.
Tryouts. What do we got?
Yeah. So my agent, he pretty much was real transparent with me early. He said there's a few teams that have high interest in me, but they don't want to commit until later on, which later on is more so training camp, not OTAs.
Right.
And which I'm completely fine with that. The last few years, I haven't really participated in OTAs ever since COVID. I kind of take this time to spend a little extra time with my family, and most of the teams know that I'm a pro, that I'll show up in shape.
Yeah. You deserve that, man. You've earned that right at this point.
For sure.
Yeah. So although it'd be nice to have that team camaraderie and be in there early around this time, I understand the business. I do know I'm looked at as an older guy, so as long as I'm in shape and when training camp comes, and as long as I get the opportunity to compete, I'm happy. So I understood that was going to be the case, and I'm cool with that.
Now, you mentioned you're still fast. You said you're still fast. What are you running these days?
He claims he still got the 4.27, dude.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you, I know I'm the fastest on the team, whatever team I go to.
That's
I
mean,
that's all that matters.
But the dude, remember, he's a humble dude. Remember?
Yeah.
You're allowed to say that, man. You're allowed to say that. You're just, you're challenging these young cats. These young cats are going to challenge the older god, man. They're going to be like, okay, let's go.
Oh yeah, no, I understand their mindset of coming in and proving themselves. So I understand that I got to let them know early that I'm still competing, and you're gonna have to beat me, or you're gonna have to challenge me to take those titles.
How much you been working out? I mean, what's kind of a daily routine in the life of Taiwan right now?
So I'm just now starting to crank it up. I'm going about 2 times a day, at least 4 or 5 times a week. I took a bit of time off, but now I'm really focusing on getting my hamstrings strong and just being consistent. So once training camp roll around, it'll be pretty easy for me.
Let me ask you this. So for an average guy, I would say, right? Like, I'm a 44-year-old dad of 3 little boys, and I like to pride myself on staying in shape and going to the gym and doing this and that. And my wife's a big workout enthusiast, right? And we kind of quit drinking years back, so it's all for me trying to do that health, wellness, that good juju, right?
You're not about to say you run a 4.27, right?
No, I'm not going to challenge my man here. I'm not going to challenge my man. But, what is, I guess, a professional athlete, someone on your elite level, guy, 9 to 4, whatever job, these workouts, there's no comparison. And I don't think people truly understand how much time and effort, how much work you guys put in, and that's, when you say 2 a day, it's like, give me, in all seriousness, give me, like, you say you get in this 7 a.m., right? This morning. What do? I want to know what you do. And I want to know, kind of a diet wise, like, give me a day in the life, man.
Okay. Well, I'll start off with my bread and butter. 2 things that are really like my pillars that I think help me prepare myself and get myself ready for seasons is running hills and pulling or pushing sleds.
Yeah.
I think that really helps me. It gets me strong. So when I am running on flat surfaces, I can feel fast. I can feel explosive. Around this time, my trainer, he tried to focus on like the little things, the detail. It's easy to go in the gym and try to be explosive with squats and the typical things, but for me and understanding what my body needs, it's more detailed and just being a little more slower. So just kind of stability things, core things, like just fine tuning those little muscles and doing things a little slower. So that's pretty much like my focus. When I try to get to a gym that have like other athletes just to put myself in an environment where I'm being pushed and I can push others. I think that's key. I try to do that at least 2-3 times a week. But if I can't make it there, like I said, I'm at an age where I kind of know what my body needs and I know what I need to do to be ready. So I can push myself or I can do the things that I need to do, which is, just typical workouts that, even you may do.
Right.
I mean, running hills is like, that was Jerry Rice's.
I was just going to say that was, seriously, dude, I was going to say that was Jerry Rice's thing.
Right. And I mean, it worked for him, man. And it's obviously working for you.
Definitely. That was something that again, being from San Francisco, you hear about Jerry Rice running the hills, as well as my guy OJ Simpson. So
from USC.
Who's guy? Who's guy?
Yeah, he's actually from like the same neighborhood I am, the same hood that I'm from, San Francisco. So I grew up hearing about his workouts and things like that too.
Yeah, listen, let's call, I mean, everything else aside, but let's talk about what kind of an athlete that dude was, right? I mean, he was untouchable.
Beast.
I mean, man, he was a killer out on the fit.
Oh, no, you didn't.
He was a killer out there, dog.
Allegedly.
I'm gonna have to edit this.
So listen, you there's another dude named Taiwan Jones that plays football.
Yeah.
What's that's like, so I met one other Donovan Scott in my life, right? Well, I didn't meet him. You ever see Police Academy?
I have, yeah.
The fat guy, the real fat guy in Police Academy.
Yeah.
His name is Donovan Scott. So the credits came on one day, man, and my buddies were watching it, and it was after the movie, and they were like, Donovan Scott, that right?
Yeah.
They thought I was pranking them or something. It's the fat guy from Police Academy. But I don't know what the likelihood of another Taiwan Jones playing football is.
See, I got a Jason Ball who used to play center for the Chargers, I want to say.
Yeah?
Yeah. Jason Ball was a center. Yeah.
We're not as unique as we think.
Yeah.
Listen, I love the name though. How'd Mom Dukes or whoever, man, how'd they come up with Taiwan?
That was my mom. She got a thing with those countries. Like my name is with Taiwan. I have a sister, and we're all T's. So I'm Taiwan. I have a sister named Tasia and a little brother named Thailand.
Okay.
We're all T's and got something to do with those countries. She just wanted to be a little unique.
And she is, and that's really actually those are cool too. Has she been there?
She hasn't. No. I know, right?
Dude, you're an NFL. You're a baller.
All right. She
get your mom over to Thailand, dude.
I know she don't really like to travel that much. I'm actually trying to get her on a trip to Jamaica soon in the next week or two.
Nice.
Hopefully I can get her on that plane.
Yeah, man. That's tell her Sandals Montego Bay. That's the joint there. Who was it we just had whose mom didn't have a license yet?
Oh,
is it Damone?
Damone, yeah.
Damone. His mom doesn't have a driver's license yet, man.
Oh, I was originally supposed to take my mom with Latavius Murray and DJ Hayden to Africa 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
But I had issues with like my passport, and my mom had to get like a bunch of vaccines and stuff, so it just didn't work out. But we was hoping to take that trip.
I would love to go to Africa. There's some places that I heard are absolutely, I mean, it's Africa, right? Yeah, like it's right. Let me ask you this, man. How are things with the Bills? I loved watching you play. Mm-hmm. You know, and I can say that in with 100% steadfast. Like, I loved watching you play.
Well, he's got that blue collar
work ethic, but people who really love football and they're not just watching, who are watching every play, they're watching a kickoff, they're watching everything. In my opinion, personally, I think a few years back, you should have had more of a chance at running back. That's my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. Let's not even go into they tried switching you to DB, right? I mean, I don't even know how that happened. But with that quickness, man, and your elusiveness, like you can't coach that stuff, man. Like your first run ever, I think I read was an 87-yard touchdown.
Well, in college,
right? Was that at East?
Yep, at Eastern Washington, my like you said, my very first touch was a 87-yard touchdown.
I mean, so when you get onto these teams, right, and Oakland drafts you, and you might have even been competing with Latavius back then. I don't know, but how does it? You have the speed, you have this elusiveness. Everybody saw what you could do on the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you personally feel? The competition. Do you think it's always purely based on talent? Do you think there's other factors like? Talk to me a little bit.
We'll start with who was the starting running back when you were drafted for Oakland?
It was Darren McFadden.
Oh wow, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Run DMC.
Run DMC.
Yeah.
Arkansas.
Darren McFadden, yeah, Michael Bush, yeah, Marcel Reese at fullback, and Rock Cartwright, which was a special teams player. And I think that was it for my first year.
Did you have any injuries that first year?
I did. I think early on in my career, I think my issues was hamstrings and just the learning curve. It was a lot for me that I had to learn. At Eastern Washington, being that guy, coach was just say, "Look, I'm gonna hand you the ball. I'll teach you your first step. Whatever you need to do, just do it."
The plot thickens.
Yeah. So coming in early, I think just learning a little faster and just taking advantage or getting more opportunities. I think that played its part early on in my career. As I started to establish myself as a special teams player, just to kind of stick around on rosters, because even though I was in Oakland for my first 6 years, I went through a number of coach changing. So I was a guy that
it was Oakland, for God's sake. Yeah, of course you did.
I was a guy that always stuck on a team, but in reality, it was always a new team. I always had to reprove myself.
Sure. Yep.
And you got
that's interesting, man.
Yeah. So special teams was just something that I thank goodness for my guy Rock Cartwright, because coming into the league, I never saw myself as a special teams player.
Right.
He kind of helped me embrace my role. He saw how frustrated I was not getting those opportunities at running back. And he was a guy that pulled me to the side and said, "Listen, you're special, you're gifted, you're a hell of an athlete. I think you can play running back, but listen, I made a hell of a career on special teams. Right, so if you just embrace it, you'll have a longer career." And he was right. And I think when making a name for yourself, or at least in my case, on special teams, I think it starts to overshadow what you can do on offense. And then I think, to answer your question, that's when other factors as far as like politics of younger guys or more expensive guys getting the opportunities before me.
I feel like a lot of times in the NFL, if they're paying the money, right, they almost have to justify it. It's every sport. That's not the NFL.
Well, they invested a lot.
They invested a lot of money, right? So
so tell me, you think you were better than McFadden? Should you have started?
No,
listen.
I can look at myself. I can look myself in the mirror, and I know when a guy is special. I know when a guy have something to offer that I can. I wasn't someone that can come in and start over. Darren McFadden, he was.
You were faster.
Oh, I was definitely faster.
Yeah, you were faster.
Yeah. But in terms of an overall running back, I think McFadden was the total package.
That dude could slice, man.
He was good.
He could slice, but
I don't ask that as a joke either, because I don't think a lot of people know, but you had an amazing college career, especially your last year in college. I mean, your stats were incredible. Like, so the trend.
If you ask me, do I think I should have more opportunities? And I'm gonna say hell yeah.
And I'm gonna say hell yeah too. That's kind of what I was getting at, when I was bringing that up earlier. I think so for sure. Yeah.
I mean,
I got to play with a lot of great running backs, and I've been in a lot of great rooms, and I've given I've been given by my peers high praise of what I can do with the rock in my hand. So
Sure.
my peers they validated that for me. Every year I come in with a chip on my shoulder that, I'm going to get that opportunity one day, that I can still prove the world what I know I can do.
Right.
But I try to control what I can control, and wherever I can help the team, I try not to be a distraction by letting my frustrations of what I don't get the opportunities as.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Let's talk about that play you made when you were on the Houston Texans for 1 year. I mean, right? This traitor goes over to the Texans,
Right.
and makes one of the highlights of his career, probably. Right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little about that, man. Were you, so you had made so many friends probably in Buffalo?
Yeah, man. This is one of those bittersweet plays where, as long as I'm on a Bills roster, I try to avoid this question. I try to avoid talking about this.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, I've created some great relationships with those guys in that locker room, and like I look at a lot of those guys as family. Like I said, anytime I'm in any town where I know those guys are, we hang out. Like I
That's
said,
cool.
I just worked out with DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah.
Like those really are my brothers. So like that moment, obviously it was like a great moment for me, because I left because I thought I wasn't getting the opportunity. And so to get the opportunity in a moment like that, to send them home,
Oh
it's
man,
like
he had
like
to say it. He just said it. He said it. Send them home.
It's a high, but it was such a low. Like it I don't know if you guys believe it or not, but like it was hard for me to see those guys, because I know.
No, I truly do. Yeah.
Yeah, they work so hard, and they deserve to like continue to make it to the next level. So that was legit a bittersweet moment for me.
Dude, there's things in life. There's just karma, right? There's just things that are meant to happen for whatever reason. You can say you making that play, against your former team. It's like there's always these crazy stories that happen, right? I need to know, were these guys pissed at you? Did they say to you, like let me, was any, if there was, name names? Who was pissed?
I bet you got some text messages.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like Deion Dawkins, of course, he was pissed. A lot of those guys gave me shit, especially not only making that play, but then coming back the following year.
Right.
I heard it in the locker room, like at least the first few months. But again, I never tried to hang it over anybody's head. I always try to avoid talking about it, because like I said, it was a great moment for me, but at the same time, I hated doing that to those guys.
You have one. Do you have one touchdown? Was that on a return, or what was that?
That was a swing pass from Derek Carr.
Swing pass from Carr. Okay.
Do you have the football?
I do.
Yeah, you better have that football, man. Yeah.
And,
I think
it's funny because I'm kind of going back a little bit.
No, go ahead.
When I came back to Buffalo, it was a time where I was scared to tell people like my name when I order food or anything. It was like I didn't know
dudes are spitting in it.
Yeah, I didn't know how the city was gonna receive me, but they received me with open arms.
That's what you think, anyways, man. You have no idea how much spit you ate that year, man.
Right.
You have no idea. Something tells me, dude, you're gonna be on a 53 this year. And I can tell that you're a guy I would want in my locker room. And it's not only the humble. There's some people that are just intuitively, I can see, leader in you, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that is a role that you have taken on. And I think that's absolutely invaluable in any locker room. And of course, listen, man, I'm not saying you're some old man that can't play, but I'm saying that role, though, is so invaluable. And would you coach? Would you ever consider coaching?
No, I don't think I got the patience to coach.
Honest answer.
Yeah.
But any role I could be, as far as like a motivator or just like I don't mind like teaching in the sense of showing somebody how to do something, and specifically what I'm good at.
Right.
Special teams or running back. But those guys, I tip my hat to them. They spend countless hours in those meeting rooms and offices and stuff like that. I don't know that I can do that. I wouldn't mind trying it. Yeah.
I don't know. I think you'd be all right at it, man. Something kind of tells me, that might be something yeah. So, what's going on with the you said you're into the fashion. You and I met once. I don't even know if you remember, but we met briefly. We diced it up a little bit. You were doing the dogs, you were doing the kennels.
Yeah.
You still do?
I still do the dog kennels. I used to be partners with Bossy Kennels. They
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the kennel that kind of held my hand through the process, taught me everything that I know. We went our separate ways last year, so I kind of scaled back just because I'm gone so much, and finding good help because it's a lot of work doing the dog kennels, and so I scaled back a little bit, but I'm definitely still doing it. We're just a bully ranch now. And
is that the name of your joint now, the Bully Ranch?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is it all pit bulls or is it bulldogs or just any, like, what is your?
So I have pit bulls, bullies, which they're called as well.
Yeah.
My brother, he has Frenchies and.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we're in the market for one of those.
Oh yeah, I got you, man.
Okay. Yeah. My wife told me, so we had a bulldog. His name was Tyson. This guy was an absolute savage. He was big, fat bulldog. Couldn't train him. He wouldn't listen. He got thrown out of PetSmart. They kicked him out, man.
Was he named after Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was named after Mike Tyson. So his behavior was
terrible.
This dog was so bad, man. Little kids would come over to the house, he'd knock them over, and so
bite their ears off.
I spent thousands on him, and we gave him away. Here you go, right? But she said if we get another dog, it's a Frenchie, man. So I'm gonna have to holler at you for that for sure.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Do you enjoy doing that? Is that kind of I mean, that's a hobby, obviously, right? But is that?
No, it's really just a hobby, something to keep me busy. But like I said, it's a lot of hard work that goes into it. You definitely gotta have some type of good help as well. But I love animals. Like I grew up loving pit bulls. Growing up, I had a lot of pit bulls in my life. Early on in my life, I was raised by my mom, and we would move like from hood to hood. Yep. And I always had the security of of a pit bull at home with me, when she was out.
Yeah. And San Fran, I don't know as much about. I mean, I know Oakland is still pretty rough, right? I mean, some parts of Oakland that are pretty rough, as there is everywhere. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's one of those things. But I want to thank you very much for taking some time with us, man. This was fun.
Oh, we gotta make sure we do our 6 questions.
We're gonna do 6 questions with you. We got 6 questions is something that you've watched this podcast, right?
Oh, I watch it all the time.
There you go.
The whole episode, but I watch it all the time.
It's cool, man. And you know what? It's growing, and people like you, and just some relationships we're making, man. Honestly, we've come a long way in just a few months, and it's just we're meeting the coolest guys, man. Like you and people. I think they're intimidated by pro athletes, right? And they don't know what to expect, and they think like they can't. You're normal guys, man. You guys, you're good.
Yeah, he's cool, man.
Yeah, we're just like your next door neighbor, man. We're regular guys.
Yeah, but you make a little bit more money than my next door neighbor.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get it rolling, man, with the rapid fire 6 questions, man. Jay, I'm gonna have you start it out.
Have me start. We're gonna ask you 6 questions. Just answer them as fast as you can, and we'll rock and roll with it. All right. All right. Best running back of all time.
Jim Brown.
Jim Brown. All right. Like it.
Buffalo chicken wings. You like the drums? You like the wings?
I like the wings.
All right. Now I know you were a big track guy. Obviously, being as fast as you are, you ran track. Who's the best track athlete of all time?
when I was running, Michael Johnson was that guy.
I remember the golden shoes, right?
The golden shoes, right?
Those are awesome. Yeah.
Prettier man, Marshawn Lynch, Richard Sherman.
This is a tough one, man.
Myself.
He's going with C. He's going with C. None of the above.
I got both of them beat.
I think so. Yeah. I think so.
I think this is the first 6 question that the guest just couldn't answer it.
Yeah, he had to go with C. You went none of the above, dude.
Just couldn't answer it, man.
Let's hit him with 5.
All right. Give me your 2 best special teamers of all time.
You gotta go with Matthew Slater. And since I've been with the Bills, I gotta say Steve Tasker.
All right, I like him.
I love the fact that that he even says that and the respect. Steve definitely doesn't get the respect he deserves.
Yeah.
Woo. Okay, last question. I guess the Heat look like what?
How about favorite clothing brand? I'd like to know that.
Well, then we'll go with 7 questions because you get another one.
As long as you got one.
Ask as many as you want, man.
Yeah, man. He wanted me to ask you your favorite clothing brand.
Favorite clothing brand? I don't really have a favorite. I've kind of been dressing for comfort lately. I like Lululemon.
Yeah, Lululemon's nice.
Yes.
There's a place that I actually just reached out to for promotion, to advertise, called Lions Not Sheep. And it's got workout gear and it's got other stuff, man. And they got the hats, the everything. And there's another one. There's actually one that's it's a business that came out a few years ago. It's all solely Black owned business called Humble and Hustle. It's a baseball. But the guy, that's his thing.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of pride in just that Black owned. That's a really good stuff too. They got great workout gear. But
I'm gonna have to check them out. You got to send me them.
I will send you both of those, man. Honestly, the Humble Hustle one is cool. It's kind of got the we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Hey, did you have some fun though? Was it fun?
Nah, this is great. You guys can have me anytime, man.
Thanks, dude. The
other day, but anytime.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. We try to just make it comfortable and, like I said, and chop it up and have a conversation. Very cool of you, man. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
And good luck with everything. Like I said, I'm willing to guarantee you're on a 53, and if you're not, somebody's going to need you.
Yep.
That you might even have a Super Bowl. You might have a ring, man. You're that type of guy with the leadership and what you bring. That somebody says, "Hey, we need this missing piece, and this is what we need."
Appreciate that. I pride myself to be that guy. I try to be what teams need. So to hear you, a fan, say that to me, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
absolutely, man.
I mean it. All right, take care, brother.
Thank you again.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
You got it, man. Bye.